Vinegar is one of the oldest forms of food preservation on Earth. Long before refrigeration, long before jams, freeze dryers, and dehydrators, there was fermentation, the natural way, the wild way. At Sour Flower, out here on the Big Island of Hawaii, when the fruit trees start dropping more than anyone can handle, we acidify it. Not with store-bought white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. We actually brew the vinegar ourselves from the whole fruit through fermentation. The Big Island is truly wild, filled with abundance. So many people have more fruit trees than they can even handle. Most of us might as well live on mini farms, and not to mention the fruit farmers. That means we have a ton of fruit here. And when it starts to ripen, it's go time. Invite your friends, invite your family, and call the neighbors to harvest. Harvest as much as you can. And even then, there will still be oranges left over. And that's the kind of fruit we like to use, the fruit that is truly in overabundance. So we don't really decide what we're going to make next. The island, the people, the community, they make that decision. The Big Island is so special too. It has all 7 climate zones, which means we can find herbs up in the desert or lush seaweeds down by the ocean shore. The variety of wild ingredients is astounding. Take mango trees, for example. We have a common mango tree that drops 50 mangoes a day when they're going off. Nobody could eat all that, and many wouldn't really want to because they're kind of stringy. But the flavor, it's perfect for vinegar. Ooh, and then there are the fancy mangoes. Every now and then we strike gold and someone has too many overripe ones. Or that one time a customer we met at the market invited us to pick from his orchard. We weren't really knowing what to expect. When we got there, it was the most epic mango collection we had ever seen. It almost feels like a crime to ferment these, but there's just simply too many. And oh my gosh, then there's the cacao vinegar. We have chocolate maker friends who give us gallons upon gallons of the sweet fruit's nectar as they start to ferment the beans. The flavor, truly godly, like almost like Skittles, you might as well be on the rainbow. We also use the cacao husk. It's the part around the bean that gets discarded during winnowing, and most people just kind of toss it away, but those shells hold all the nutrients that chocolate has, and they're a great thing to make tea with, and they straight up taste like chocolate. So we like to infuse that into vinegar as well. And of course, we also use raw cacao from our tree, ceremonial grade, rich in antioxidants, minerals, and all the pure cacao benefits, but transformed into a tangy, complex flavor. But let's talk about kiave tree. An invasive mesquite with thorny pods. It's the worst when you get one in your foot or your shoe. But the beans, they taste like Cheerios or like malted syrup. I don't know if you ever had malto meal as a child, but it's naturally sweet and full of energy. Scientific studies show that the kiave bean contains 8 out of the 9 essential amino acids, making them a near complete protein source. We can extract the sugars to ferment into vinegar or use the syrup itself with noni vinegar for the most unheard of liquid aminos. We season it with wild salt that we harvest from the lava rocks, and I mean, have you even imagined noni vinegar? It's literally the essence of a fine blue cheese. And keep in mind that this fruit is known to be the worst tasting. Like, I can't even take a bite without spitting it out. But in vinegar form, it's divine. It just goes to show that fermentation is a miracle worker. The OG alchemist. The result, a liquid of aminos unlike anything you've ever tasted, all 3 ingredients wild, and if there was an essence of Hawaii, this might be it. Every fruit has its own fermented alter ego. Tamarind goes full on peanut butter vibes. Banana, soft, subtle, floral, barely recognizable, but totally delightful. Pineapple holds all the bright joy of pineapple and then deepens it into something round and full. Guava, it becomes electric, tropical, and slightly funky. Did you know that Hawaii has over 200 varieties of mango alone? And every single one of them has their own texture, scent, flavor, and smell? So when we make mango vinegar, they're not always going to be the same. They can't. That's the joy of it. Each vinegar has its own personality. It tells a story. And jackfruit vinegar, what if we had that on a watermelon? Like, our little kid brains can't even handle that. Every fruit vinegar is an experience. It's joyful and surprising, and that's really what we're after. Novelty. But beyond flavor, beyond preservation, this is about something even bigger, something deeply human. What happens when we start creating things that have never existed before? Every single fruit vinegar we make has a personality, a second life. It reveals something hidden, and when you pair it with your own creativity in the kitchen, the possibilities multiply. So this isn't just about vinegar, it's about novelty and the hunger we all share to experience something new. As Terence McKenna once said, the universe is not only stranger than we suppose, it's stranger than we can suppose. And it's on a journey into ever greater complexity, ever deeper novelty. He believed, and we believe, that time is accelerating toward a peak of novelty, that everything is speeding up. Ideas, discoveries, flavors, creations. Just look around us. The rate of newness is overwhelming, from AI art, from science to cuisine. And we want to be a part of that. We're not just making vinegar, we're inviting you into a creative act with us. Because when you take one of our fruit vinegars and it's in your own kitchen, you're completing the circle. You're bringing something into this world that has never existed before. And in doing that, we've done something together, something real. We've transcended this little internet moment and made something in the real world. That's powerful, that's magic, and that's what we're here for. So if you're feeling like stepping outside the lines of red wine, apple cider, or rice vinegar, then give one of our vinegars a try, or maybe even try making your own fruit vinegar. Then join us on this mission to explore, taste, and create. Because when you have something this special in your kitchen, you can't help but making something new, something extraordinary. So stick around for our next video if you're ready to discover new tastes, new stories, and a whole new way to think about food. Much love from Sour Flower Vinegar.